It's the home stretch for the St. Louis Cardinals. The final two games of the 2010 season, the Colorado Rockies are in town. Cardinals have taken Game 1 and Game 2. Thanks to Ryan Franklin yesterday, he closed it out. Jim Hayes had a chance to visit with him.
Ryan Franklin works a scoreless ninth for save number 27 on the season. Hey, it's been a while since you've been out there, but you were awful sharp tonight.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching the game the whole time, and, remember the other day, a couple months ago back in Colorado, they beat me up pretty good, so I was looking for some redemption.
How about the job Jake did tonight?
Oh, Jake was outstanding, man. I was hoping to see him get out of that eighth right there, and I know he hated it, but heck, threw a great game, got ahead of hitters all night, and punched out the world.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? And Trevor Miller, bases loaded, gets out of it.
Yeah, T. Mills came in and did an excellent job, man. I mean, the dude's leading the league in hitting, and he came in and did a great job and got that ground ball back to him and kept that lead secure.
We're winding down here. You're not retiring, but real quick, if you give me an assessment of the season that you had, are you happy with it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that I'm not happy with the way things turned out for us, but as far as, I don't know, I'll look at individual things.
No, I meant the way you're pitching. I meant the way you're pitching.
Yeah, man, I've felt like I've thrown the ball well, and and I hadn't had very many opportunities, but I tried to stay sharp when we can, and there you go.
Team batting championship is on the line here this weekend. We'll take a closer look at Pujols and Holiday when we come back. They are neck and neck.
You can see how close they are. Albert Pujols has been the team leader in batting average every year he's played here in St. Louis in the big leagues. He struggled against Jimenez, and he's out of the lineup tonight. Holiday, by the same token, 2 for 6 against Jimenez, and he's trying to win that championship for the team batting average. Watch these pitches. They're all out of the strike zone. Recently, hitters are starting to lay off those pitches. He's walking a lot more. He's walking in runs and throwing wild pitches. Let's see if the Cardinals can lay off those pitches as he's trying for the 20th for the third time.
Jimenez trying for his 20th. Kyle Loesch for the Cardinals. Cardinal baseball coming up next. And the sun has broken through here in downtown St. Louis. Very pleasant but cool afternoon for baseball. Kyle Loesch and Ubaldo Jimenez are our starting pitchers, as the Cardinals are trying to finish strong. They've won the first two games of this four-game series. And it is now time for God Bless America and our national anthem.
Pam Silverio and Megan Rowland. Please remain standing and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. It's performed today by the Parkway Northeast Middle School Choir. They're under the direction of Raynard Brown.
Can you see by the dawn's
Celebrating baseball in downtown St. Louis this weekend. Parkway West Middle School with God Bless America and Parkway Northeast Middle School Choir with our national anthem. And now a special tribute to the great fans here in St. Louis. .2 million fans enjoying great memories and making great memories here at Busch Stadium all summer long. Kyle Loesch just about ready for the first pitch of the game. All we need is the first base coach, Glenn Allen Hill.
Yeah, I was just wondering about Glenn Allen, a little tardy, but I don't think that was the principal reason why we were waiting.
That was worth the wait. Dexter Fowler, the center fielder, leads it off against Kyle Loesch. Loesch 4-8 on the season with a 7.09 earned run average. He's our Marshall Wireless starting pitcher.
Has won 2 of his last 3 decisions. Would like to finish on a up note. Tough couple years for him with that forearm issue. Finally had it surgically repaired, and hopefully he can rest easy this offseason and prepare for next year.
Ball popped foul. And what a play by Descalzo. He leans over the railing in the Rockies dugout and makes a spectacular play. There's a great way to start a ball game.
It sure is. And Kyle Loesch needs a little bit of luck, and he gets one here. Descalzo stays with it, reaches over as far as he can. He's not a real big guy, but he gets there to a point where he can reach over as far as he possibly can and hauls this ball back in, and that's a good way to start the day.
Pitchers love good defense behind him. Jonathan Herrera, the second baseman, lays down a bunt. It's going to be a tough play for Descalzo on the run. Not in time, as Kyle Loesch and Descalzo almost ran into each other, and then Descalzo almost took out the home plate umpire after the throw. And here's a look at the Rockies lineup. Dexter Fowler, Herrera, Ian Stewart, very talented third baseman, hits third. Tulowitzki at short. Helton Smith, Peyton, Ionetta, and Jimenez. Carlos Gonzalez not in the lineup, and he is done for the season. There's the near collision, and there's the actual collision.
And Hickok, our home plate umpire, not a way to endear yourself to, as you're a rookie. They can be a little trouble on you. They give you a rough time.
I did see him say I'm sorry about 7 times. Does that help, Al?
Yeah, it does, maybe.
So, base runner for the Rockies here in the first inning. That'll be an infield hit, perfectly executed by Herrera. Ian Stewart, 18 homers, 61 RBIs, has been very potent in this lineup and actually has, many would say, opportunities to even be better. He has a high ceiling as a hitter, and of course he's hit the Cardinals well.
Almost half of his home runs have come in the 7th inning or later to lead his team. And the same with a lot of his RBIs. But it's unfortunate we're not seeing Gonzalez, the National League batting champ this year, who you could see last night that wrist is really, really bothering him. As they were hopeful to get 3 more hits to get to 200. Lotto can't catch him in the batting average, so congratulations to Gonzalez, Carlos Gonzalez, on winning the National League batting championship.
And a ground ball to second. Could be 2. Schumacher to Miles and on to Hamilton. Good inning for Kyle Loesch. Good start. We'll see Jimenez when we come back. First shot at Ubaldo Jimenez, and here is the way the Cardinals lineup shakes out here this afternoon. Aaron Miles, Alan Craig, Colby Rasmus, 1, 2, and 3. Matt Holliday hitting in the cleanup spot. Albert Pujols with the afternoon off. Hamilton, Schumacher, Pagnazzi. Dirty Dan Descalzo batting 8th, and Kyle Loesch 9th against Ubaldo Jimenez, looking for victory number 20.
What a great first half and a frustrating second half. His 3rd attempt at number 20.
First pitch swinging, Aaron Miles. Herrera backs up and makes the play for out number 1. And here is the rest of the defense behind Jimenez. Peyton, Fowler, and Smith are your outfielders. Ian Stewart, the third baseman. Tulowitzki, a fantastic all-around player at short. Herrera and Helton on the infield on the right side. Iannetta behind the plate. And Jimenez on the mound. And we should say that Miguel Olivo, who was hurt here last night, does have a concussion, but all of the potentially more serious issues, Al, were not a problem, and it's good to see that. That was a scary moment in last night's game. Iannetta behind the plate this afternoon.
We sometimes forget that for a non-contact sport, you can get seriously injured, and we're glad Olivo is okay. And amazing how many concussion syndromes are becoming prevalent in sports, and we just hope they get more research and do something to avoid these things.
And a line drive to right center. It'll be a base hit for Alan Craig. Beautiful swing there, inside out swing on a pitch on the inside half. And Craig starting to hit the ball hard here as the season draws to a close.
Well, he's getting that first time extended playing time. Started for the 7th straight game. And he's hitting about 400. Well, about 400 during that time. So his 5th stint with the ball club, but played so sparingly. Now getting the chance to play day after day, you're seeing his immense talent.
Big hole on the right side for Colby Rasmus. And he lines one to right field, and it is caught by the right fielder Seth Smith. And he tries to double off Alan Craig. And it looks like the Cardinals have shown what they're going to do against Jimenez, and that's look for that first pitch.
Here's a line drive out there. Alan Craig halfway, couldn't really tell. Now he gets back. Is very nice shoestring catch right there. Difficult read for the runner. You know, is it off the shoe tops? Is it a catch? And does a nice job to make sure he's not doubled up.
Brings Matt Holliday to the plate, hitting cleanup here this afternoon. Nice backhanded play by Iannetta. Holliday and Pujols locked in a battle for the highest average for a Cardinal in 2010, something that Albert has done every year since his first year as a Redbird. Virtually tied coming into the game today. Ground ball to third, maybe a tough play, and he's safe. Infield hit for Matt Holliday. And our keys to the game brought to you by Toyota. We'll look at Ubaldo Jimenez, his first 16 starts, April through June. He was 14-1. Incredibly low earned run average, and since then, last 16 starts, 5-7. The ERA, not quite as good. But the run support hasn't been there either.
No, it hasn't. His last time out, he only gave up 2 runs, but his teammates only gave him 1. He's lost his last 2 starts, 3rd attempt at 20. I asked people, you know, what really happened, and they said, 1, people are not swinging at his pitches out of the strike zone. 2, he kind of started letting the front shoulder fly open, started pushing the ball, you know, getting the ball up or overcorrecting, throwing it in the dirt. And then he started coming up with this idea, well, I'm going to throw all these different pitches. And just got away from just throwing his overpowering fastball.
I guess he got bored at 15-1.
Yeah,
it was too easy for him.
It was too easy. Remember the first 3 months, everybody said, oh, here's your Cy Young Award winner. Had it all wrapped up. Then he throws, you know, the no-hitter, the first no-hitter in Rockies history in Colorado's 2,703rd game.
Swing and a miss, takes care of Mark Hamilton. Chance for his first RBI as a big leaguer. It'll have to wait. Rasmus and Craig in the outfield. And we've got some infielders playing out of position. Loesch and Pagnazzi are the battery. Miles, the second baseman's playing short. You've got a second baseman playing third. You've got an outfielder playing second. It's not normally a good recipe.
No, it's not, but getting playing time right now and trying to impress.
Kyle Loesch looking to extend a string of good outings for Cardinal starters, making their last start of the year. P.J. Walters was good in his last outing. Carpenter was outstanding, as was Westbrook here yesterday. I'm not sure you could pick which one was better. Westbrook was really dominating at spots here yesterday.
Had a little trouble in his 8th inning, but tied his career high in strikeouts. Carpenter got his first complete game.
Tulowitzki walks to lead off this inning, and what a month he has had. Anytime you've got a full screen with you and Babe Ruth on it, you know you're doing pretty well. Tulowitzki, fantastic month. 15 home runs, 40 RBIs. Babe Ruth holds the record for most home runs and RBIs in September. And Ruthian September for Troy Tulowitzki.
I don't know how long he was out on the disabled list, but his numbers are pretty high for been disabled for a while.
27 homers, 95 RBIs is a good season, but he was out for an extended period of time. And to the Rockies' credit, they stayed tough as a team and found ways to win. They made a race of it, but they faded at the end. They just have not hit the last couple of weeks. Todd Helton having an off year for him.
Well, not only have they not hit, and they had that crushing defeat and led 6-1 in L.A.
Line drive to right. This one's going to drop in front of Alan Craig.
2 weeks ago tomorrow, and not only did they lose that game, that lead, and lose that game, but they have never recovered since that time. Todd Helton right in the middle of the plate, down a little bit. Just a dream pitch for a left-handed hitter.
His line drive to right out, a little more topspin. Colby Rasmus is carried to the right fielder.
Yep.
And that brings in Seth Smith. Good power numbers for him. And the home run Cardinal fans remember most by Seth Smith was in game 1 of that Rocky series in early July. 9-run inning. Rockies won that one 12-9. Loesch misses inside. Cardinals bullpen should be fairly rested today. There's not a lot of numbers out in the Cardinals bullpen. There are 13 relievers, 12 relievers actually in the Rockies bullpen, just 9 for the Cardinals.
Well,
but they're rested.
We do have Aaron Miles if needed.
Oh yeah, forgot him.
You know, Hawksworth has been shut down, and same thing for Reyes.
And an important weekend here. Stan Musial being honored.
Stand for Stan. I get him the Medal of Freedom.
Sign me up. Where do I vote?
There's only one person voting.
There's a good pitch by Loesch. Seth Smith called out on strike. First strikeout for Kyle. Not really a strikeout pitcher, but occasionally he can make that pitch that'll tie up a left-hander on the inside part.
No, but you know what you want to see him do, though, is throw a lot of fastballs. Throw that sinking fastball. Get it down to where it has that movement. That's what made him the big winner a couple years ago, and Cardinals rewarded him with a multi-year contract. He had the forearm issues since that time. You know, he's throwing a lot more breaking balls, and I when he first came over here, you know, he really bought into Dave Duncan and said, not that Dave gave him anything, he just said, you've got a great sinker, utilize that. And became a big winner in his walk year, rewarded with that 4-year contract. And since then, he's had trouble getting it down, so he's gotten all these breaking pitches.
Could be a double play. Cardinals had one in the first and one in the second. Nice defensive play. Kyle Roche to Miles and on to Hamilton. This is taking on Baylor. You can find the game on an alternate Fox Sports Midwest channel. Go to foxsportsmidwest.com for channel listings. That's Kansas and Baylor. Check your on-screen guide or go to foxsportsmidwest.com for channel listings. Jimenez is not the only pitcher hoping to win his 20th today. David Price of Tampa Bay is scheduled to appear in relief in a game against the Kansas City Royals that could have playoff implications.
Sure. They're going to go in postseason.
Definitely.
But whether it's the division.
But do you beat the Yankees or not? They are actually a half a game behind the Yankees.
Right.
The Yankees with a doubleheader today, Al. That's not good for them. Rain yesterday in Boston, having to play a doubleheader the Saturday before the playoffs start. Skip Schumacher leading it off for the Cardinals against Jimenez, who's looking for his 20th. Kind of an interesting delivery for Jimenez. A lot of elbows and arms and knees and shoulders. And no, I wouldn't call him smooth, but when he's right, his control is very good.
Sure, and that's why you can get a little out of whack, and your mechanics get a little bit askew and have trouble throwing strikes. But because of all those moving parts, it's deceptive, and that always helps a pitcher. And also, he still has hit triple digits this last couple starts, so you can get it up there.
And Gary Cederstrom says that Schumacher did in fact swing at that pitch. Matt Pagnazzi takes his first turn. Nice average for Pagnazzi, 344, taking advantage of an opportunity he's been given here in September. Yadier Molina still dealing with his knee issue, really just kind of resting it. No sense in him playing, Al. It's not that Yadi couldn't be playing. And the same as you mentioned, Dennis Reyes not in action the rest of the season. But at this point, you just have to be smart.
Yeah, Jaime Garcia, everything. It just doesn't make any sense. And you got to do everything you can to keep Albert out of the lineup, but he doesn't have great numbers against Jimenez, and he needs to have a little day off. He recharges battery for tomorrow, so, and it gives Tony John Mozeliak and all the lieutenants an opportunity to see what some of these other guys can do.
Watch out. That ball might have hit
but
him in the shoulder and maybe even glanced against the side of his face.
I think it was maybe the face. Yeah. Got him in the lip or something. Yeah. In the top lip, nose or something, but
let's see where it hits him first.
The ball just take off. Look at that. Look at that movement.
Ball gets away from Jimenez, and that ball hits him right in the nose. Oh, my.
Eyes be watering a little bit, wouldn't you?
And you'd have to say if that got him a little more flush in the nose, then we would have a bigger problem for Matt Pagnozzi.
No doubt about that.
Well, he could tell all his friends he took a Ubaldo Jimenez fastball off the face and just ran down to first base, no problem. That could have been much worse. Daniel Descalzo hits from the left side. And Jimenez struggling with his command here. 94 miles an hour is good, but the command is not.
Well, that's what we talked about, and we showed some video in our opener of his first outing against the Cardinals when he ran his record to 15-1. And of the 3 pitches that we showed, all 3 were outside the strike zone. And Cardinal hitters expand the zone and swung and missed on all 3. Teams are laying off a little bit now, and that's where it's made a difference in his one-loss record. They really say he is a tremendous young man that very, very likable, very coachable. All of his teammates really pulling for number 20.
Foul ball at the plate, evens the count at 2-2 on Descalzo. He's already made his mark here this afternoon. Now that nice play defensively against Dexter Fowler on the pop-up in front of the Rockies dugout. But he's also made his mark with the bat. He's done a nice job since his recall, and you just wonder what the future will be for Dirty Dan Descalzo. I'm told that's his nickname. That's what everybody called him in AAA.
Well,
speaking of dirty,
the one thing we've noticed is that was filthy.
That's right.
But he had a good month on the road. He's struggled here at home, and Dave McKay still kind of checking on Pagnozzi's nose. But
this looks like a split.
Yeah. He's got a good splitter. See the movement on that, and you don't quite see that pitch at the AAA level.
Not that hard, not that much movement. Loesch bounces one to third, and the easy out at second base. Matt Pagnozzi takes a fastball off the base and handles it pretty well. you a chance to be the Cardinal general manager here this afternoon. What would you like to see the Cardinals add during the offseason? Improve defense, bench depth, power, batter, speed at the top. A, B, C, or D. Text add, then A, B, C, or D to 432-432.
How about A, B, C, D, and E?
Iannetta hit by a pitch. And you wonder, Al, if that might have had some purpose to it.
Well, it's the way Tony plays it. You don't wait for a certain time. You just go right ahead and do it immediately.
And you didn't hit him in the head. You just kind of hit him in the ribs. You didn't say too much. Went down to first. Maybe it's okay. Jim Hayes joining us here in the top of the third, as he does throughout the season. Jim, good to have you up here.
Nice to be here. I got hit the other day, and I was fine.
Excuse me? How could you get hit?
You got hit by a pitch.
Reporter? What? One of the players finally got even with you?
We make dreams come true on the pregame show.
Oh, I know.
Aaron Miles had a dream of posting a strikeout on a major league mound, and I helped him. That's what we do on the pregame program.
Except,
had nothing to do with your dream.
Yeah, it was kind of there's a way of twisting things around.
I have no idea what you mean now.
I think you said you could hit him, take him deep.
I never said take him deep. I thought I'd be able to rope one somewhere.
Why?
Nah. He throws 62 miles an hour.
Why?
And here it is.
Oh,
look at that form. Is that form awesome? And now, like a coward, you
notice Murph didn't try to stop me from charging the mound.
Well, look at Miles was ready, and you got your hands like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Can you imagine if he wound up with a contusion? I would have to answer to Tony.
Very typical, by the way. You gave him that mean look, put your arms out wide like you wanted to challenge him, and the minute he walked towards you, you started smiling. You can't smile when you charge the mound.
Typical of what?
You got a typical of you.
Wait, I can't imagine in your career anyone ever charged your mound, and then you they broke out laughing when they got close to you.
They did not. Bunt right in front of the plate. Loesch looks at second and gets the lead runner. Nice play by Kyle Loesch. And what happened at the end of that at-bat?
He broke a little something off on me.
Yeah, but look at how bad this curveball is. But it was. And you want to talk about hitting?
Just missed it, Jim.
We make dreams come true. You're welcome, Aaron Miles.
How about that spin?
Actually, Al, I think that was our dream, getting to watch that. Getting to watch Jim swing like that against Aaron Miles.
Our dream, probably his nightmare.
54-mile-an-hour slider. Is that what that was right there? Did you have a gun on that?
It was a curveball, so he said.
It seemed to me he pulled down the lampshade, as Rick would say.
Oh, what a great experience that was, Cat. Great to have you all year long, by the way, giving us the great insights of what's going on with the club and with the players. And you think maybe Kyle Loesch is not using his own glove today?
Probably using Chris Carpenter's. In fact, we know he is, as that ball is caught. We noticed on the post-game interview with Carpenter through that complete game to close out his season, the guys in the truck, who are the best, Mike Helling and Tom Mee, pointed out that Carpenter had Loesch's glove, and Loesch does have Carpenter's glove. And I asked them about it, and they said Loesch said top secret, and then Carp said, yeah, we're both going through a little stretch, so we decided we'd change our luck by switching gloves. Paid dividends for Carp, didn't it?
It sure did.
Now,
so
Rick,
far, so good for Loesch.
I could not use somebody else's glove.
No chance.
You break your glove in a certain way, and I understand trying to change your luck and everything, and it's worked for them, but I'd have a hard time even contemplating using somebody else's glove.
I would take this opportunity to thank the players for putting up with me all season long.
It's been fun.
With the pre- and post-game shows, we ask a lot of these guys, and they've been great all year long.
And in all seriousness, you have a very difficult job, and you do it extremely well.
Well, thank you, sir.
Ground ball to the right side. Nice play by Hamilton, and he beats Herrera to the bag. Cardinals have had very good defense. I think they're mostly using their own gloves. But they're doing a good job of it. Ubaldo Jimenez looking for his 20th victory. He'll face the top of the order for the Cardinals, Miles, Craig, and Rasmus. And we have Jim Hayes with us for another half inning here. And one thing we wanted to ask you about, Jim, you have some new information, or the latest information, about the home run ball for Matt Pagnozzi, his first career big league home run. He hit it a long way. What's going on with that?
The backstory was they negotiated with the fan. They didn't reach an agreement. The fan counteroffered the ball in return for season tickets. Pagnozzi still does not have that ball. Now, I'm going to use my considerable influence, put together a little counteroffer for that fan. So if you're the fan that has the Pagnozzi home run ball, my proposal, you will get an autographed ball autographed by Rick Horton and Al Raboski in return for that ball. I've brokered the deal. Contact me at jhayes@foxsports.net. We'll make it happen.
I refuse to sign it.
I'm a little mad at that guy myself.
Of course you are.
I'm mad at that guy.
Well, how do you broker a deal without talking to us?
I talked to the powers that be. I talked to your bosses.
Who are they?
The top guys.
Besides my wife.
Top men in the organization. They've pledged your autograph. I knew Ricky would say yes.
We're limited contractors.
I won't do it for you, but I'll do it for Matt Pagnozzi, because I'm really kind of bummed at that fan, because, and I understand what he's doing, and yes, the fan's entitled to foul balls and all that, but it's just a baseball, and that's all it is to him. And give him 12 of them. I mean, but that baseball means so much to Matt Pagnozzi. I don't think he understands what he's doing. This bothers me.
I agree with you. And if it were a ball that had a monetary value, the fan would be doing the right thing to make sure he got taken care of. But here, we're offering a ball signed by Horton and Raboski, and give the kid Pagnozzi his ball.
Wait a minute. You said that ball had monetary value. You're offering him a ball that has zero value.
Good point, Al.
No, I'm saying if it were a ball that had a big piece of history, I'm saying for Pagnozzi right now, there's not a monetary value.
I understand that, but what you're offering to the gentleman is
not worth very much.
First of all, he's not a gentleman that we have to talk about this. He's being kind of not being a good Cardinal fan. But you're offering nothing in return. It's our autograph.
You're ruining the offer right now. We're trying to make it seem like this was an important piece of memorabilia.
We're tracking you now.
We're into being really totally honest.
Alan Craig singled in the first inning. Hit the ball hard the other way against Jimenez. The sun is shining brightly here at Busch Stadium. Had some cool weather and some rain early this morning here in St. Louis, but it's turned into a very nice day. Temperatures in the high 50s.
Cat, here's what you do. You just go get a baseball, rub it up, get a little dirty a little bit, and then say, hey, here's the home run ball.
This is the guy who 30 seconds ago said we're into honesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said,
I cannot live with myself if I did that.
Just make sure it says Seelick on the baseball and not Bill White or somebody else.
I'd like him to have that home run.
We all would. And I'm sure that gentleman will come to his senses after the cat pays him a visit at his house. He could get into that baseball.
That sounds kind of
he could get into that baseball stance, and that would scare him.
Tell him he can come onto the mound and pitch to you.
Okay.
Throw that in, will you? One out walk to Alan Craig brings Colby Rasmus to the dish. As the regular season comes to a close, the Cardinals would like to say a huge thank you to the fans across the Cardinals nation for all your support in 2010. Over 3.3 million of you showed up to support by cheering on the Redbirds at Busch Stadium. And the millions more also joined via radio and TV broadcast. Cardinals ownership, management, and players would like to give a tip of the cap to baseball's best fans. It's you that truly makes St. Louis baseball heaven. Colby Rasmus lined out to right, sinking liner, caught by the right fielder Smith. His first trip in the first inning. Craig, the runner at first. field. Craig rounds second and headed to third. Helton has had trouble fielding in this series. Very sure-handed. Gold Glove winner over the years, but not in this series. Very interesting season for the Cardinals. We've talked about it over the last few weeks, how the Cardinals have played poorly against teams that are below 500. But how about the potential playoff teams in 2010? Phillies, Braves, Reds. Look at those numbers.
When you look at those numbers right there, you should be in postseason, because you play 500 or thereabouts against the good ball clubs, and then just dominate against the sub-500 teams. You're in postseason. So the Cardinals did the tough part. They just couldn't beat the bad ball clubs. And we agree with the scoring, E3.
In that graphic, the pitching was very good against all of those teams. Sure. And when it comes down to it, pitching is still king. And the Cardinals with top 3 starters, and you add Jake Westbrook to that mix, and you think, boy, things should have turned out differently.
Last night was only the 8th time the Cardinals this season have won scoring 3 runs or less. And with that pitching staff, that's unbelievable.
Long season to do that only 8 times.
And it's very difficult to try to pinpoint a reason as to why this team would struggle against the have-nots of baseball.
One thing they haven't done is struggle at home. Tony La Russa was talking about that before the game. It was brought to his attention, actually, by Jim Leland. Called him and congratulated him for winning his 50th game at home, 50-29. And you had a chance to be with Tony La Russa on the pregame show for the big announcement. How did that go?
Yeah, we had a live venue, a live program in which we brought Tony on to address the story that a lot of Cardinal fans have been looking at, whether or not Tony La Russa is coming back next season. And he said, "I told you can ask me any question, but not that one." Then he walked away.
I think he still loves you, though, Jim.
Oh, I don't think so.
Not as much as you do, Al.
I do love you.
Good chance for the Cardinals here.
And boy, I'd sure like to really show you.
Anyone uncomfortable?
Raise my hand.
Let's see. I want to show you my gun collection. Practice catching hand grenades.
Oh, I know you guys love each other. 1 and 2 to Holiday. That is the third to first move that we love so much. A little different twist to that for Jimenez. I don't think he sold that very well.
No.
Matt Holliday with an RBI opportunity here. He has 103 on the season, and his infield hit in the first inning put him a little bit more ahead of Albert Pujols in the race for the highest average as a Cardinal in 2010. And the pitch to Holliday. Late swing, watch out in the Cardinals dugout.
Do you guys get the sense that Tony will be back? Because I do.
I do.
A week or so ago, I thought it was probably the highest percentage in his 15 years that he would not be back. But this week, I get the sense he is coming back.
Certainly, that's one of the pieces that the Cardinals have to put in place. They have first baseman.
That's a pretty big piece.
It's a giant piece that they have to figure out how they're going to handle. And then a lot of other little pieces.
The 2-2 to Holliday. Swing and a miss, and strikeout number 4 for Jimenez, and he can be nasty. Let's look at this at-bat by Holliday, pitch by pitch.
Well, remember, he throws so hard, and then he has secondary pitches. There's a fastball, he throws right by you. Now they're one back in on the hands a little bit. Shake off another fastball. They might have taken some off there, and then there's the off-speed pitch, whether it's a split or not. You're going from 99 to 89. You don't have a lot of time to make any decisions. And we've seen his ball has some movement, whether it's a fastball or off-speed.
Great range of velocity this afternoon by Jimenez. That fastball you mentioned up to 99 here this afternoon.
Like I said, they've seen him record triple digits in his last couple starts, so he's not wearing down. That's not the problem.
Another RBI opportunity for Hamilton, and there goes the runner, and kind of a late steal, almost a delayed steal by Colby Rasmus.
It's a lot of fun to watch the younger players, the guys coming up from Memphis, getting a chance to contribute in whatever way. For Carpenter's complete game the other night in the 9th inning, Brendan Ryan made a sensational play, but Hamilton had a great scoop at first base. Little things like that mean a lot.
Well, in the minor leagues, Hamilton, in almost 1,100 chances, has only made 6 errors. So he comes with a very high regard as a defensive player. Got some pop in his bat, but he's got some holes too in that swing.
No stolen base for Rasmus. They're calling that a wild pitch, even though he was off on the pitch a bit. And Hamilton bounces it back to Jimenez. 1-3, takes care of the Cardinal rookie. We're through 3 innings of play in St. Louis. No score. First pitch to Ian Stewart, underway here in the 4th inning. Stewart, Tulowitzki, and Helton for the Rockies. Kyle Oesch, a good first 3 innings against a pretty good lineup here. Stewart bounced into a double play to end the first. Loesch started a double play to end the second. And a fastball misses into Stewart. And one more time, just Al, a nice tribute to our friend Jim Hayes. Didn't get a chance to properly dismiss him, and what great a job he has done throughout the course of the season.
I really do look forward when he comes in, and he has added a lot to the broadcast. And he and I kid each other a lot, but I have great respect for him, and he really does have a tough job.
Well, the toughest job probably getting to talk to Tony after losses. That would be the toughest, but the players really appreciate
you. What makes you think that?
I've seen it.
But as far as his baseball career, we can close the book on that.
I believe he played lacrosse was his game of choice when he was in college. I guess it's a different kind of swing in that sport, clearly. This date in history, brought to you by Schnucks. Bob Gibson establishes a new World Series mark. We all remember that game. We've seen video of it many, many times. He struck out 17 Tigers. And this is Gates Brown trying to hit that slider again. He never hits it, Al.
It was game 1 of the World Series. He strikes out 17.
Might have been Willie Horton, not Gates Brown.
I think it was Horton. And, when you think about that. The Cardinals were up 3-1. Probably should have won that series, but Lolich and Mike Shannon always talks about how Roger Maris, coming over from the American League, he says, don't worry about Denny McClain. He won 31 games that year. So don't worry about him. The guy we're going to have trouble with is Lolich, and he won 3 games in the series.
Lolich was outstanding. He had one of those unusual pitcher bodies, kind of a big guy, but very good left-handed pitcher, and was also very durable. Actually, Al, that's the first World Series as a kid that I remember. That Tiger Cardinal World Series.
And then, you know, Lolich, if I'm not mistaken, after his playing career or near the end, bought a donut franchise. And that kind of summed up his body.
Popped up on the infield. Cardinals have handled Tulowitzki very well. Visit the official online shop of the Cardinals at cardinals.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, something for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the cardinals.com shop. Todd Helton singled in the second inning. And that hole on the right side as Hamilton holds the runner Stewart there.
As a kid, Todd, I said, how do you keep your beard dark? He said, I pluck out the gray. I said, that'd take me too long.
I'm glad he divulged that information. That is one full beard he's working there, isn't it?
Pretty good numbers against Kyle.
Over 2,200 career hits.
Franchise leader in just about every category for the Rockies.
And it may not sound like much, but 34th all-time in doubles in Major League history. He's just behind Frank Robinson now. You're talking about a big name when you talk about catching Frank Robinson in doubles.
Yeah.
You're among the elite.
And, of course, he needs 2 more doubles to reach 20 for, it seemed like forever since he's been in the big leagues. And tongue-in-cheek, he kind of said his goal this weekend was to get 12 home runs so he could get to 20 long balls this year.
Well, he better start moving. Has 8.
2 more doubles. He would be 12th consecutive year at 20-plus doubles.
Nice play by Hamilton on the backhand, and he gets the runner at first, Helton. And not in time to get Stewart scampering to second base, but that's a nice play. He's coming off the bag. He's got a reverse direction.
That ball gets by him. That is one more of those doubles. So a very nice play. We just talked about how good his reputation is in the minor leagues, and looks well deserved. Congratulations to Ruth and Harold Hensey in Quincy, Illinois on their 90th birthdays and 72nd wedding anniversary and their 55th year of listening and watching Cardinal baseball. This is wishes from their son, Gene, and daughter-in-law, Carol, from Idaho. So congratulations to Ruth and Harold, and thanks for listening and watching.
55 years listening to Cardinals baseball.
Both of them 9 years old.
Well, what'd they do the first 17 years of their marriage?
Hey, maybe they were extended honeymoon.
All right. Great to have the great Cardinal fans that we do, and we encounter a lot of them out throughout the course of the season, and they love to tell us their favorite player, or one I like, Al, is when people talk about a great family moment. I was at the game that McGuire hit that home run, and it was so meaningful to be there with my son. Those kinds of things are what really energized me about this whole Cardinal baseball experience. You'd like to win them all. You can't do it.
You know what I love about, some father will bring a picture of when he was like 4 or 5, picture with me.
Right.
And then now they'll bring it to me with their son, who's 4 or 5, and just to see how that process of from kid to father to bringing their kids down to the ballpark, and just how it's generational. And
when we get to the third generation, we better start worrying about that.
I've seen those too.
Two and two to Seth Smith. Stewart, the runner at second. Good pitch there. Did he go? Yes, says the home plate umpire Ed Hickok. Big day for my buddy Jay Randolph here at the ballpark. Threw out the first pitch beforehand. Wonderful speech. Wonderful man. He and Mike Shannon. Little pitch and catch. October 9th is the home opener. Brett Hull's statue will be unveiled before that home opener, and it joins McGinnis and Federico. Historic moment right here on Fox Sports Midwest. That's a week from today, October 9th. The Blues home opener. Blues, a great organization, Al.
Well, they got a full day over with the Blues. They have an open house this afternoon from like 3 to 6, and then they have their last exhibition game against Dallas tonight.
Hard hit ground ball by Schumacher hits the mound, which made it an easier play for Tulowitzki. And Cardinal fans a little disappointed, clearly, that their team will not be playing in October. Interesting, by the way, that highlight of Gibson's 17 strikeouts was a World Series game played on this date.
Yeah, it was the first game of the '68 World Series, and here we have 2 more days of the regular season.
And then multiple layers of playoffs.
Right, and that was going to World Series. Of course, you didn't. Right back then, it was there was one champion of the American League, one champion of the National League, and they played in the World Series. You didn't have the playoffs.
And baseball fans have kind of clamored about this because I think it does stretch the season into November, probably a little long, but baseball next year is cutting off the season a little earlier in the end of September so that it will not go into November.
And then there's a lot of discussion of adding another layer, have wild card teams face off, and say a 2 out of 3, best 2 out of 3.
Ball's fair, close play at first, and Catanazzi beats it out and is headed to second. Might be a close play there, but no throw from Herrera. Should be an infield hit and an error. Bring the family down tomorrow, 2 hours prior to the Cardinals game. Enjoy complimentary frozen treats and win fun prizes in the Ford Plaza, courtesy of North Star. For tickets, call 314-345-9000. or you can go to Cardinals.com. It is a hit and an error, as the Cardinals now with 3 hits, Rockies with 2 errors. Pagnazzi just making things happen. He's kind of in the middle of everything, isn't he?
Sure, hit by a pitch. Now he gets the infield single, finds himself in scoring position with 1 out.
And we talked a lot about small ball yesterday. Another opportunity here for the Cardinals to pick up a scratch run, just an infield hit, an error, take advantage of that.
Sure.
Now the goal is to drive him in.
Also had that big game against Pittsburgh. And since then, hits have been hard to come by. I'm down to earth a little bit.
Seems a little more off balance, but that also comes from pitchers that figure out what your weakness is and they start to attack that. We saw that with John Jay. He came up and was swinging the bat really well, and then he went into a little slump.
Of course, Descalso wasn't facing the caliber of pitching with Pittsburgh or even in the Chicago series that he is facing, this week here, particularly against Jimenez.
Opportunity for him here. Loesch, the pitcher, hits next, so you'd like to see some action here with Descalso.
When you look at Daniel, once again, a few doubles at AAA, but doesn't appear he's going to have a lot of pops, or more of a singles hitter. Kind of think in terms of a utility player, but what handicaps him there is, does he have the ability to play shortstop?
If you're a utility player, you really have to be a utility player. You've got to be able to play shortstop. That's exactly right. And it's a tough position to play. A lot of responsibility. 2-2 the count to Descalso. Has 4 RBIs, looking for his 5th. Pagnazzi, the runner at second, and a swing and a miss takes care of Descalso. And another strikeout for Jimenez. That's 5.
That fastball that can light up the radar, and then that late movement almost thrown by him before he commits to swinging.
One more strikeout for Jimenez, and he ties the franchise record. Pedro Estacio, 210 strikeouts in a season, is the franchise record. He already has it for wins with 19. He's chasing 20 today, but the franchise record before this year with just 17 for the Rockies.
Maybe Kyle Loesch can help his own cause. Nope.
And Todd Helton puts that one away. Cardinals threaten but don't score in the 4th. Pitchers duel. Game 161. wear number 5 prior to Albert Pujols? I happen to know the answer to this.
Yeah, I know the answer, too. Not quite as illustrious as Albert.
Thomas Howard wore it for a 2-year period. Ron Gant before him. And I don't think anybody's ever going to wear it again. Line drive into the left field corner will be a leadoff double for Jay Payton. He bounced into a double play his first turn. And the Rockies with an opportunity here in the 5th inning. Skies have darkened a bit here. Winds picking up a little bit, Al.
Yes.
Some weather in the area.
And we talked a little bit about Jay Payton. Did not play last season. Spent all year in AAA. His 12th year in the big leagues and 6 different organizations, and making a statement with that double there. Gotten a little cooler.
It has.
Morning,
Chris Iannetta, the catcher.
Morning rain today. And I said, where'd that come from?
A few dark clouds beyond the center field fence here at Busch Stadium, beyond the arch.
Sometimes we don't talk enough about these umpires and what good guys they are. And Ron Kulpa at first base is St. Louisan, but I want to talk about our home plate umpire. He was an Eagle Scout in 1979. He's got a degree in criminal justice. He is a sworn-in police officer in Florida in the off-season. Works as a detective for the Daytona Beach Shores Police Department. But probably the most impressive thing is he has a commercial pilot license, and he's a contributor to the Angel Flight Southeast, a nonprofit organization that provides free air transportation to those with urgent medical needs, and also was instrumental in the Haitian earthquake relief. So
the man behind the mask.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's great information. Umpires do not get a lot of credit. Certainly, a walk to Iannetta.
Ed Hickok, our home plate umpire, been in the major leagues for 5 years, but obviously an outstanding individual.
And their travel can be very, very difficult.
They can make a nice living at the big league level, but it's a lonely road getting there, and a lot of time in the minor leagues.
I would say the criminal justice degree probably and the detective degree would be pretty helpful.
Yes. This kind of prepares him for that off season.
Interesting that Tony La Russa went out to have a conversation there with a couple runners aboard.
I would think that part of that was to talk about the young infielders, the bunt defense. Usually it's your third baseman, kind of the quarterback, relays the signals, and Descalzo primarily a second baseman, so Tony wanted to tell him what he wants to do. You can see kind of how defensively they're trying to get the lead runner at third base.
Wheel play was on there. Wheel play being the shortstop, headed to third base to get that lead runner.
Now Schumacher is stationed at second to shorten up the lead for Payton. You see where Miles is. He's more than halfway towards third base as Descalzo and Hamilton in the corners are going to be charging in. Got it.
Perfectly executed. And when you've got a pitcher that doesn't swing the bat very well, you can afford to kind of leave those holes open, Al, and make him try to swing the bat. The Cardinals dared him to do it, and the bunt doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, he bunts it right back here. Loesch gets to it. Miles has a shot at first base. Zabaldo was only halfway when the force out was recorded at third base, and Miles looked at him but decided not to throw. Very easily could have turned that into a double play.
Dexter Fowler, leadoff hitter for the Rockies, swings and misses at the first pitch. Cardinal pitchers, Al, not a big sabermetrician, as you know, and I would assume you would be in the same club as I'm in.
Yes.
But the statistic that is gaining some popularity is this idea of a zone rating, where it really just tracks the ability for players to cover a wide area defensively. Not just do you catch it, do you make an error, but do you cover some ground. It talks about their range. Cardinal pitchers far and away have the highest zone rating and defensive numbers of any pitching staff in the National League, and I think we saw evidence of that right there.
Yeah, now we all know about Brendan Ryan's range, where as far as the zone rating, he has the highest rating, 31, among Major League shortstops, and Nick's best is 21. So,
how about that play he made the other night?
Sure, Woo. That was outstanding. Everybody has a job to do. Remember, we talked about Schumacher was at second base holding that runner. Now he takes off early, gets over here in case there is a return throw. And you can see where this is what I'm talking about. Miles had a double play if he threw the ball to first. He wasn't even in your picture.
I agree. Should have been a double play.
But, you know, if you don't feel comfortable, don't throw it away.
And a swing and a miss. Big pitch. That is a big strikeout for Kyle Loesch, his third.
It's 103rd strikeout for Bauer. A little too much, too high a percentage of striking out for a leadoff hitter. Of course, today's game, 100 strikeouts, no big deal.
I think Cardinal fans would be surprised to know that there's just one team in baseball that has struck out less in the National League, than the Cardinals. Cardinals do not strike out a lot as a team.
No.
Sometimes it seems like they have throughout the course of the season. Rasmus has struck out a lot.
He struck out the most on the ball club.
But when you've got Pujols and Molina that hardly ever strike out.
And then even Holiday, for productive hitter, doesn't strike out much.
Hamilton to Loesch. Another clean inning for Kyle Loesch. He had to pitch around a leadoff double. Nice job. Cardinal fans like it too. Jeff Suppan will be your starting pitchers. It's tomorrow at 12:30 on KSDK, and it'll be Jay Randolph and I with the call. It'll be exciting to have one last game with Jay, and KSDK has been a great partner with the Cardinals over the last 4 years. And look forward to the final game of the season. Jeff Suppan will be the starter.
Jay and KSD back then, which was now KSDK.
Right.
Doing the broadcast when I was playing for the Cardinals, and we all love Jay Randall.
Wonderful man, great partner, great friend. Just appreciated working with him over the last 4 years, and it was nice to hear the great words he had for our crew during his speech before the game here on the field. He talked about the great job that Mike Helling does as our producer, and Tom Mee, the director, and the rest of the guys in the truck.
Gave you a lot of credit. Enjoyed working with you the last 4 years, and how you've taught him how to partake of red wine.
Is that what I taught? I knew I taught him something. I tell you, he knows so many people. Every place we go, Jay has hundreds of friends.
His father is senior senator for West Virginia for many, many years. Grew up in the Washington area. Very well respected in the business.
Aaron Miles, 1-2. Cardinals need to get something going here, and there's a foul ball. Home plate umpire Ed Hickok says the ball hit the dirt. And since he is a detective and a criminal justice major, he ain't buying it, Al. Catcher's trying to sell it.
Yeah, I was just looking at this. You know, he's a major detective. He'll get to the bottom of this stuff.
And we don't often give background on the umpires very much.
Crew chief Gary Cedarstrom out of third base. He has received a BS in education from Minot University. His hobbies include ancient history and aerial photography.
You're making that up.
No.
Ancient history.
Yeah, back when I played.
As opposed to recent history. You can catch all the action of the 2010 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 6th with the Division Series on TBS. Now there's a hat for you.
Eldon Colbreth, our second base umpire, 13 years in the big leagues. He went to University of North Carolina, Charlotte, on a baseball scholarship.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was a pitcher and a right fielder, and then he hurt his arm. He majored in psychology. That will help him
absolutely
in his current job. And our first base umpire, the St. Louis and Ron Kulpa. He's boring.
No, you got to say something nice about him.
I'm going to try. I looked earlier and I can't find it. You know,
kind of a normal guy.
Yeah, he enjoys golf, bowling, hockey, and riding his Harley Davidson. Nice going, Ron.
I've seen him golfing, not riding the Harley.
He went to Hazelwood Central High School, attended Flo Valley Community College, Missouri Baptist College, played baseball in college, and then enrolled in umpiring school. Because that tells you all you want to know about his baseball ability. But Ron's a good guy. We see him around some of the charitable functions in the off season.
We do. Good slider from Jimenez takes care of Alan Craig. He had a base hit and a walk prior to this at-bat.
Big sweeping breaking ball there, and when you throw as hard as he does, and then that ball starts kind of coming at you, you kind of flinch a little bit, don't you?
That ball looks like a golf ball in his hand. Jimenez,
big hands.
Never shaking hands with him, but his hand is kind of like Lee Smith. Lee Smith had the biggest hands of any teammate I ever had.
And be close to being the biggest teammate you ever had, too.
And the slowest to walk to the mound of any teammate I ever had.
That was his sprint.
Lee Smith, former Cardinal, former Cub, should be in the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned.
At the time of his retirement, he had more saves than anybody else in the history of the game. I think, you know, when you see some of the, you know, Gossage will help him a lot. Goose Gossage's entrance, but all the guys that have been there, you know, relievers, pretty much had somewhat of a career as a starter.
Eckersley,
and, you know, Raleigh Fingers.
Tough at bat for Rasmus. 1-2-3 for Jimenez, looking for number 20. Next day, get a free buffet with a purchase of one at the Kitchen at Lumiere Place. Visit My Choice for details. Kyle Loesch pitching very well here this afternoon, matching zeros with Ubaldo Jimenez. And he faces Stuart Tulowitzki and Helton here in the 6th inning. Pitch count low. Pitch number 63 for Loesch. Been very efficient. And he's had a good breaking ball. But Al, I think what you mentioned earlier, having the confidence to use the fastball effectively is really where it starts for him.
Yeah, if you can get that fastball down in the zone. And there's off speed pitch, but it's up. But because it was off speed, he got underneath it, pops it up.
Every piece tells a story at Cardinals Authentics, the only place to find game-used, limited edition, and autographed memorabilia and collectibles. Visit CardinalsAuthentics.com anytime to find your story. Cardinals really have handled Tulowitzki well in this series.
They really have. And Ian Gonzalez kind of kept his team in contention, and once they started tailing off, the rest of the offense just stopped.
That at bat for Gonzalez yesterday, almost hard to watch. You could just tell how much pain he had in his wrist. Really gamer, trying to get to 200 hits, trying to catch Albert in RBIs. Albert will be the RBI champion. Gonzalez will not play tomorrow.
Well, if he doesn't play tomorrow, and you know, and it was obvious that he just couldn't swing. Bad wrist, and it's a shame because you really want to see a guy who's having such a tremendous season.
Tough play for Hamilton, and he makes another play and beats Tulowitzki to the bag. Seen some good defense from the Cardinals today, and Hamilton has been a part of it.
Sure has. Noted that he's only made 6 errors in nearly 1,100 chances in the minor leagues. You see Tulowitzki way out in front. You know, he started his body moving that way, then the hands come through and totally off balance, then off the end of the bat and just dribbled down to first base, just inside the bag, and Hamilton makes a good play. Very impressed with Kyle Loesch today, and it's what Kyle needs. Obviously wants to get a win here, but let's just make sure at the very least it's a no decision and he can really build off of this game. He needs a little good luck.
Boy, it'd be a great way to go into the offseason for him. And we talked about it with all the other pitchers. You've mentioned it, Al, but maybe more important for him than anybody else.
Yeah. You know, after 2 years of battling that forearm issue, out 3 months, having a surgery that very, very unusual, and get that repaired. Physically, he's getting stronger and stronger, getting his pitching back, but he was a little wounded psychologically.
And that takes time to heal, just as the arm issue takes time to heal. Loesch did win 15 games, lost only 8 for the Cardinals in 2008. Had a great season, got the big contract, then the injuries to follow, and he just hasn't been the same. But he knows he's got it in him somewhere. 2-out walk to Helton. Brings in Seth Smith. Mentioned the Cardinal defense, really been a story of this game. Not just Loesch's pitching, but double play in the first inning, double play in the second. Very good bunt defense in the 5th inning. Descalzo with a nice play. Hamilton with a couple of nice plays. Cardinals defense has improved since the All-Star breakout.
Yeah, it has, and it was something that desperately needed to improve. Has gotten better. It's just gotten better. The pitching wasn't quite as good.
That's right. Well, you like him all to be good at the same time. You just don't always get that. Another 0-2 count for Kyle Loesch. That was pitch number 76. No concerns in the Cardinal bullpen. Just enjoying a Saturday afternoon at Busch Stadium. Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking balls down and into Smith. That's 3 times he struck out. Stan Musial. We'll look at Stan Musial.
wife Lillian.
another magical moment at Busch Stadium. Cardinal Nation's consummate hero, Stan Musial.
Well, he's outstanding. I know I got a little tear in my eyes, and what a tribute for Red to be out there, all the Cardinal players, but also, you know, you got to compliment the Rockies. They're all out there. They all wanted to shake the great Stan Musial's hand, the greatest living left-hand hitter and the greatest ambassador to baseball. We know here in Cardinal Nation, but give them a little credit, especially in this ball game. Nothing. Jimenez trying to go for, 20 wins, and everybody understands what Stan's all about. And a very, very special moment for all Cardinal fans. He'll be 90 years old this November. Lil's birthday is tomorrow. They have meant so much to our community and all of baseball, and this honor that the Cardinals are trying to achieve for Stan, the Medal of Freedom, is long overdue.
Makes you proud to be a Cardinal fan. Makes you proud to be a St. Louis.
Absolutely. That was pretty neat.
Wow. Think about the memories that many of the fans here at the ballpark are building with their families, telling stories right now about how great a player Stan Musial was.
Oh, no doubt about it. There's a lot of generations that never saw Stan play, but the legacy has been passed on through the family. And just, as you say, not only what he did and what he represented on the field, but equally off the field. Great humanitarian, did a lot of things to his communities, raised a lot of money for a lot of charities, and that still continues. I know he's got a big gala coming up. He used to have the golf tournament, can't do that anymore, but they have a big dinner in his honor coming up this fall, and let's hope the White House is watching. They say they got a pretty good file on Stan, and it's the right kind of file.
You bet. And the right kind of moment here at Busch Stadium. Just really breathtaking to be a part of this here today. There's a ball game going on, but sometimes there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, and as a player, sometimes you go, wait a minute, come on. This is what's most important, but no, it wasn't. What just transpired was more important. Now they can pick up the pace and finish off what has got the prospects being a great game.
Been a pitcher's duel up to this point. Jimenez and Kyle Loesch. Both pitchers have given up just 3 hits. Matt Holliday has one of the Cardinal hits. He singled in the first infield hit against Jimenez. He is 1 for 2. Battling Albert Pujols for the team lead in batting average. And that will go down to tomorrow's game, most certainly. Albert, Matt will probably both be in the lineup tomorrow. And the Cardinals need a run. Jimenez getting no run support again. He's trying to win that 20th game, but he's going to have to do a lot of it himself.
And I talked to Jim Tracy yesterday where he was going to use as a motivation that this is not only Baldo's 20th win, but it's really a feather in the cap of the entire ball club.
You mentioned that yesterday. I thought that was a great comment, Al, talking about when a player does get an award, the team, yes, it's an individual thing, but it's not selfish, because everybody is rooting with you. They know, that you're a part of it, and you're trying to help get that player to that magic number. And if you never had a chance to see the great swing of Stan Musial, here it is.
Would never teach that batting stance, but thank goodness no one changed Stan's stance, because the man was the only one that could hit that way, and he did it. 330 plus lifetime batting average. He was the Ted Williams of the National League.
Some might say Ted Williams was the Stan Musial of the American League.
Sure, exactly. .475 home runs. 3,630 hits. The oddity of that was 1,815 at home, 1,815 on the road. It's pretty consistent.
And it was nice to see Red Shandy's here at the ballpark, a part of that celebration here. We had between innings, Red and Stan, great friends over the years. Red, a great player himself, Hall of Famer as well. And I know Red would like to see that honor for Stan Musial.
They were roommates, for many years, and I mean, just inseparable.
And you look at the all-time hits leaders. Where does Stan the Man stack up? Well, that's pretty good company. Pete Rose, 4,256, then Cobb, then Aaron, then Stan Musial, fourth all-time, just ahead of Tris Speaker.
One time he was the National League leader in hits. Top of my head, all these things are off the top of my head, but I think 6 batting championships.
Line drive to left, and right at the left fielder Peyton. Schumacher's retired for the 3rd time.
24 All-Star games.
And he's up among those league leaders all time with hits, but he also was a power hitter, and that's one of the things why that makes us think about Albert Pujols in the same breath. And I don't know if that's fair to Stan or not, but they're similar in the fact that you've got guys that could beat you with the home run, and Musial certainly could do that, but he's a great hitter, and that's exactly the way we would define Albert Pujols.
Sure. That was 3,000 hit. Final game of a road trip, and he was not, in the lineup, but they had a chance to win that game. He pinched hit against Mo Dabrowski, and got a double to get his 3,000 hit. He came back on the train from Chicago to St. Louis, and I don't know how many hours that trip normally would have been, but it lasted about 3 hours long, because every stop, every little town they had to go through, they had to stop. Everybody came out to acknowledge the accomplishment, and that was a rare accomplishment back then. But had to stop at every little whistle stop just to let the fans acknowledge Stan and his accomplishment of 3,000 hits.
Of course, his accomplishments, as we've mentioned, and as we've gotten to know Stan, go beyond what he's done on the field. You mentioned all of his work and charity work, but just knowing the man personally, Al, just an incredibly likable and friendly guy, and just so down to earth, humble.
Been on about 3 cruises with Stan and Lil, and I remember one time where after dinner, Lil using the aid of a wheelchair, and I was wheeling her, and Stan really didn't want to go see the after dinner show, and so I walked in and he found an open room, looked like some people were assembling there, and he goes, you don't have to wait, just let Lil in there, she'll handle herself, she'll find me later. And so I got her seated, came back and walked by that room, and Stan went in and said, group of strangers on a cruise ship, and said, hi, I'm Stan Musial. Can I play my harmonica and sign autographs for you? Loves
that
people.
Sounds like
Loves people.
Exactly. Three and 2 on Pagnazzi. Hamilton, the runner at first. He reached on a 1-out walk. Cardinals have struggled for base runners today. Alan Craig has a hit and a walk. Colby Rasmus reached on an error. Holiday a base hit.
Both teams have stranded 6.
Not many opportunities. 3-2. Hamilton off again, and a swing and a miss. Cardinals honor Stan the player, but also Stan the man. text poll. What would you like to see the Cardinals do in the offseason? Power bat wins. Speed at the top and second, and probably some Cardinal fans would like to have all four. Ground ball to left side, handled by Descalzo. And a nice throw across the diamond takes care of Jay Payton. One pitch, one out here in the seventh.
Descalzo, his primary position is second base. He did play third base in college, but not in the pro ranks. He's done a fine job over there.
Concerned at the top of the telecast, Al, with the fact that the Cardinals have a second baseman playing third, former outfielder playing second, and a second baseman playing shortstop, but the defense has been great. A couple of double plays. Miles turned one very quickly on the ball back to Kyle Loesch. So far, so good. Still have chills over that Stan Musial moment.
Yep. And his grandson Brian was in the back with his mother. And Brian told me several months ago they've changed the medication, and Stan really doing much better.
There's his grandson Brian traveling with him around the ballpark here, and former Cardinal minor leaguer had a chance to play with the Cardinals. And Brian, just a wonderful guy who really helps out Stan and Lil quite a bit. Talked about the defense. Al, it started early.
Well, here's that first play of the game. Reaches over the dugout. Here's it starts a double play. Miles quickly firing it over. Hamilton made a couple nice plays over at first base. Here's another one. Here they get the runner, the lead runner on a one play. Another play by Hamilton. Talked earlier about last night's victory was the 50th at home here. That's the first time the Cardinals have won 50 in this new ballpark. 50 games at home. Unfortunately, the road record wasn't as good.
The sixth time that the Cardinals have won 50 or more games at home under Tony La Russa. Sun comes out again. Loesch is dealing. We'll hear from Tony La Russa. Pat Paris and I will break down the game one last time. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live after the game on Fox Sports Midwest. And the starters comparison, well, both been good. I don't know who's been better. They've both been good.
Well, it looks like Kyle Loesch is probably through. Randy Wynn is at the on-deck circle. Hit for him. Let's hope they can reward him, but I think it's very, very important that Kyle Loesch knows that he finished very strong, pitched well. If there's Kyle McClellan, pitched so well that he can really build off of that, take that into the offseason and prepare for next year.
You'd almost have to say whether the Cardinals score this inning or not, Kyle Loesch is going to feel fantastic about this game. Certainly he'd like a win, but
no doubt about it.
But this is just a great outing for him. Dave Duncan has to be pleased.
If you get him back to pitching like he did 2 years ago, then you've got something.
And a ground ball to second. Takes care of Descalzo. You may have had some great seats in the ballpark, but have you seen the view from the dugout? Experience it by taking a tour of Busch Stadium. For more information, you can visit cardinals.com/tours. Descalzo looking like he's just kind of feeling for the ball right now. Does not look comfortable. Not a very good swing there. Out number one, and Randy Wynn will be the pinch hitter.
And he's had a tough time pinch hitting. 7 for 42, a 167 average.
Line drive here, right at the right fielder. Well hit by Randy Wynn, but no results. Cardinals not using John Jay, and we may not see him tomorrow either. Batting average at 300. I think Tony La Russa would like him to hit 300 for the season, and there are other players to get a look at. You've got a good long look at John Jay already, so I'm okay with that. How about you?
Yeah, we know what he's all about. You know, in a lot of ways, Wynn and Felice, you know, you kind of understand that a lot of times they'll use Felice for defense late in the ball game, but got to read on them. You just soon see the young kids. Could have sent Brian Anderson up there because you still have a backup in Stephen Hill.
Aaron Miles had a good game defensively, 0 for 3 at the plate. And a line ground ball, one hopper actually to Lewitsky. Hit that ball hard, no results. We're through 7, still no score in St. Louis. Slams either. 4 grand slams in his career, 5 walk-off home runs. 2007, the only other season where he did not have either one. Kyle McClellan will take over for Kyle Loesch. Loesch outstanding, 7 innings, 3 hits, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And McClellan, another very good season for him, takes over. And first pitch, line drive to center field. And Fowler's going to test the center fielder Rasmus. Wow, can he run?
I don't think he was thinking too when he left the batter's box either. He saw that little slight opening as Kobe had to go to his left into right center and didn't catch it cleanly. So it's a single E8. Should not happen.
Bunt situation here. Herrera lays it down perfectly. Pagnazzi takes care of him at first base. And we have a runner at third base for the first time for the Rockies anyway. Cardinals have had 1 runner reach third. That was Alan Craig in the third. It's been a very good pitcher's duel. Good sacrifice for Herrera. Brendan Ryan has taken over at shortstop. He is now hitting in Aaron Miles' spot. And a big part of this game here, Ian Stewart, curveball in the dirt from McClellan. Cardinals playing the infield in here. Rockies desperately trying to get some runs for Jimenez. He's running out of time.
Exactly.
How far can you go with him?
And with his speed, Fowler at third, I mean, he's going to have to be a one-hopper right at any infielder. If they have to move left or right, come in and stay, you know, you can't score. With your third place hitter up, and in fact he's left-handed hitting, don't think that you would squeeze.
Especially a power hitter like Stewart. He has the ability to drive the ball in the outfield.
And just fly ball, sacrifice fly.
But your point is great about the infield. They can't play that halfway depth. They have to be all the way in if they've got any chance to get Fowler on a ball hit in the infield. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there from McClellan, and he's 1 pitch away from a big strikeout.
Well, that's one thing. They really like Kyle. If he's matched up against the left-hander, they feel very confident that he can retire him. Trevor Miller is warming up, but that'll be for Todd Helton.
The 2-2. Curveball, swing and a miss. Big pitch by Kyle McClellan takes care of Ian Stewart.
Not a very good at bat right there by Stewart, especially this final swing. As it's clearly Wade bounces out in front of the plate in a very weak swing.
And we've questioned some of the ability to block the ball by Matt Pagnazzi, but he did a nice job there. He buried that one.
Well, we know he's very capable.
Absolutely.
And now with Tulowitzki up here, and Pagnazzi looked like he looked to the dugout. He's going to come out where they may say, you know, pitch around Tulowitzki. Do not let him beat you with Todd Helton on deck and the lefty Trevor Miller warming up. Now, as a pitcher, this is tough to do.
Oh boy!
You know where I'm going, right?
You're either in or you're out.
Yeah, it's very. It sounds so simple to say, okay, you know, you can't let this guy beat you, but you're out of the game. Right. You know, if he gets on base, you know, if you walk him, you're out of the game, and you know you want to compete.
Fowler, the big break off of third base.
Yeah, it really come down there, but you would not think a squeeze with 2 outs or with Tulowitzki up there.
But he knows the good curveball Kyle McClellan, and just in case the ball gets
they're
away,
going to put him on. So put him on, and nice going, but you're out of the game. And, you know, my pitching around him, if you're going to go up there and throw breaking balls and make sure you
Well,
you know, you're going to bounce them.
Exactly right. But if you bounce the ball with a man on third base, is that a wise thing to do?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're really asking, you know, a tough decision to try and pitch around a guy with breaking balls that, you know, you don't want to hang it, so you accentuate bouncing it. And now you got your lefty-lefty matchup.
Trevor Miller got a big out last night. Called upon again in the eighth. Yesterday in a bases loaded situation with Carlos Gonzalez at the plate, and he was able to retire him. And his job here this afternoon is to get out Todd Helton, one of the best hitters we've seen in the last 15 years.
These two have had to have several matchups over the years, and there's 1 for 11. So probably that sweeping slider has been a big key, trying to get him out. There's the do factor. The fastball in, it's a fastball down and away.
Pretty good life on that fastball.
I think Helton's thinking is going to be a lot of pitches away. Looks like they're going to go back in. And it's back away. Now when you throw the slider away, he's kind of thinking it's going to be out there. So gotten away with 2 pitches. It would shock him trying to go back inside with that fastball, but you don't want to leave it in the middle of the plate. They're going to go back fastball in. And right in the middle of the plate.
And he pops it up to left field. Holiday down the left field line. Trevor Miller does the job again. Still no score. Cardinals getting ready to hit bottom of the 8th. by AT&T Mobility. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Will Ubaldo Jimenez join the 20 win club here in 2010? Halladay and Sabathia at 21, Wainwright at 20, and Jimenez trying to become the fourth pitcher in baseball to win 20 this season.
David Price, we understand, is going to try and pick up a win. They're going to try and manufacture a win for his 20th pitch in relief today or tomorrow.
That game not underway yet. That starts tonight. Tampa Bay is playing in Kansas City. Yankees in Boston are underway. The Yankees have a doubleheader today. They start action a half game ahead of Tampa Bay.
No 20-game winners last season in the National League as Wainwright won 19 to lead the National League. So, sure, in many ways, the Cardinals are trying to deny Ubaldo his 20th win to make Adams even more special this year. And Halladay would be the only ones.
We know the Rockies would really like to get win number 20 for Jimenez. How far can you go with a pitch number 110? He's set to hit
got
fourth.
a winner to rest.
Yeah, that's true. And a swing and a miss. Alan Craig strikes out for the second time.
He's already set the Rockies record for wins and strikeouts. Trying to add more.
213th strikeout. Victim of the season is Alan Craig.
It's his 9th of this game.
Colby Rasmus, one of those victims, also lined out, reached on an error, and has made an error himself. And you wonder if Albert would be used in a pinch hit role late in the game.
I think it's a distinct possibility against one of the relievers warming up. Lyle or Reynolds. Although turning around saying, wait a minute, these guys are warming up, I better do it myself.
I don't want to see that. You ever look down there when you're pitching, look down the bullpen and see if anybody was up?
No. It's 10. You know they're up.
Yeah, you know. Exactly. Another good fastball. He just blew this ball right by Colby.
How's that ice cream melting? It's a little warm out, a little cool out. He's having fun with it either way,
isn't he? Isn't that great? Great to see that. Matt Halladay could give the Cardinals a lead with one swing of the bat. It's happened before. 28 home runs on the season. He's 1 for 3 today. That average at .313 again, just barely ahead of Albert at the start of the day. Probably just a tad higher now. And a nice play by the third baseman, and he is out at first base. What a play by Ian Stewart. Guard the line, dive to the left, get up in a hurry, try to help your pitcher out. Wow, big time play.
At Busch Stadium. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Harris and Rick Horton will be at Lumiere Place. We'll relive the stand for a stand ceremony, which was awesome. We'll have our top plays of the year, plus 3 burning questions for next year. That and more coming up after the game. Tony La Russa making a change, and we go back to the booth and Rick and Al, guys.
Thanks, Jim. And Tony La Russa is making a change. Trevor Miller got his man. Time for another man. No score. Top of the 9th. With us here on Fox Sports Midwest. Our Chevy call to the bullpen is Mitchell Boggs, right-hander. He will face Ryan Spilborghs, the pinch hitter.
Spilborgh's been a very good pinch hitter this year.
And a one-hopper handled by Descalzo, and he throws out Spilborghs. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Let's play right there. Boggs fires a strike. Descalzo guarding the line, and it paid off.
Interesting offseason for Mitchell Boggs. You look at the numbers that he's put together this year, but I think there's such a big upside for him, Al. Boggs, Mott, both those guys as potential closers. I'd like to see them both get a chance at that job in spring training. Ryan Franklin has done a great job as well, but the future closer might be one of those two.
Well, both of them are, their future is getting married. Well, change things for you. Jam shot.
And Brendan Ryan throws out Jay Payton.
But you're right about these guys. And in many ways, you know, I mean, I'm glad to see Ryan Franklin has changed his mind about retirement. And at least he'll consider coming back after next year. But I could see at that point him going back to a setup man. And whether one of these guys are ready, we have no problem have them pitch in their roles as they are this year another time, gain a little more experience. I think Boggs is a little more advanced than Mott because Boggs is a better secondary pitch.
Just a little more inconsistent with it.
Well, it's a question whether Boggs has one. I mean, Mott has one.
Exactly. Well, he has a good inning under his belt, that's for sure. Looks like Jimenez will go out for one more. His prime cut of the game, a base hit into the right center field gap, and after Rasmus misplayed it, he was able to go to second base. And Ubaldo Jimenez is through for the season. Matt Reynolds takes over, the left-hander. Good numbers. Jimenez fails in his bid to win 20 games. Outstanding season for him. And how about this guy, Albert Pujols? Will pinch hit for Mark Hamilton, bottom of the 9th inning. And I think the Cardinal fans are kind of happy about that. Albert's last walk-off home run was August of last year against the Nationals. That was August 2009. What will he do October 2nd, 2010? Has yet to have a walk-off home run this year. Fans would love it if he had one here. Pujols, Schumacher, Pagnazzi, bottom of the 9th inning, no score. Matt Reynolds, the left-hander. This is low and away with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kid been pitching pretty well. Right-handed batters only batting 179 against him. Lefties 161.
Good location there.
Walked just one left-hander, and since September 9th, they're batting 111. So made his major league debut on August 19th.
You surprised Jimenez didn't go back out for the 9th?
Yes, I am. Oh, yeah.
110 pitches.
No, it's old school. Pitcher's day was through at about a minimum, or usually an average 120. Hard to believe. Matt Reynolds was named the Rockies' 27th best prospect.
Wow.
And the prospect with the best control after the 2009 season. But 27th? Pretty good numbers.
Yeah, it is. The 2-2. Misses low. A pretty good arm for the 27th.
Yeah, 27th.
Who are those other 26 guys?
I don't want to find them.
Ball 4 just misses the outside corner. The good eye of Albert Pujols.
Ricky, 9th inning, nothing ball game. You walk that first man. You
normally lose.
Just hung a nail on your.
That's exactly right. Joe Mather will pinch run for Albert. And Albert, by the way, with the ground ball out that Matt Holliday had in the last inning, great play by the third baseman Stewart. Albert is now just percentage points ahead of Matt Holliday for the team batting championship, which will be decided tomorrow. Cardinals trying to win a game here, though. Skip Schumacher's job will be to get Joe Mather to second base. There's the numbers. How close can it get? Both of them at 313 as they would be rounded up, but Matt Holliday just slightly behind Albert.
Well, like you said, you know, it won't be decided until the last at bat tomorrow afternoon. Do not get picked off. And with those good numbers of how Reynolds has handled left-hand batters, it's an obvious sacrifice situation. But you never know.
Schumacher. And he pops up the bunt. The one thing he doesn't want to do. And easy play for the pitcher Reynolds, and Skip Schumacher does not get the job done.
That might just cost that L. She can't believe it. Reynolds is 6'5", 240. Matt Pagnazzi will not get a chance to face this lefty, as Jim Tracy has already said he's going to go to the bullpen and bring in Palau.
Slow walk to the mound for Jim Tracy. Second full year in Colorado. 9th year as a big league manager. Well respected. And he wants another pitcher. Belial. is next. Leadoff walk here in the 9th inning. Al said should be dangerous, but Schumacher missing that bunt, Al, big here in the 9th.
Neutralize it. Boy, that is so tough. But Belial's been on quite a roll, as so has Matt Pagnazzi. And maybe his, the 353 batting average, one thing, but 8 RBIs get your attention just as much.
Couple of options here. I wouldn't think you'd bunt again, but maybe a hit and run. Mather runs pretty well at first base.
Time was called there as Rockies were trying to figure out what's going on with Pagnazzi's intention. You hold the ball, see if he gives away that he's bunting. They're holding. Stewart's holding on, guarding the line at third. Tulowitzki's up the middle a little bit. Same thing with our second baseman, Herrera.
Also trying to see if the runner Mather maybe gives away that he's going to be taken off and a potential hit and run. You're trying to look for any kind of clue you can find from either the hitter or the base runner.
First couple games, they were very aggressive on the base path against this catcher.
Pagnazzi trying to hit the ball through that hole on the right side. And really, this is where you can really afford to be a little more aggressive than normal, Al. You're playing at home in a scoreless game. You can afford to take that chance. If it doesn't work out, you know you're at least going to get another chance.
Nobody's going to criticize you if you do so. And talked about yesterday in the Open, the game, first game of the series, very aggressive. Playing small ball, setting that runner in motion, a little bigger lead for Mather. Lyle did the right thing. He just kind of was inching out there a little bit more and more, either throw over or step off, take the spring out of his legs at first.
And there goes Mather. And close play at second, and he's out. Good throw by Chris Iannetta as Pagnazzi was not able to get the bat on the ball. Decent jump for Mather, but a very good throw by Iannetta.
And boy, Matt Belisle not only dodging the throw, but look at the throw and the bat. He almost walked into the throw, and Mather, it's nailed.
That throw was right on the money.
Yeah.
That throw is about chest high. He's safe.
A very good throw by Iannetta. That looked more like Olivo throwing. He was an outstanding thrower.
0-2 to Pagnazzi. And in case folks missed it, Al, we did have a report back that Olivo, who was injured here yesterday, is experiencing and does have a concussion, but the CAT scan, all the tests were done. Everything was normal as far as the neck and his head, and that was good news.
Yeah, I would not have put the hit and run on with this pitcher, because he is such a strikeout pitcher, you know, that he.
You like the guys that are maybe pitched to contact.
Yeah, he's got fifth most strikeouts in the major leagues by a relief pitcher.
Well, he's got another one. Matt Pagnazzi down on strikes for the second time. Extra innings in game 161. Your wild side. Rockies 8-9 on the season in extra innings. The Cardinals 5-8. And they're getting one more shot at that extra inning total here this afternoon. Mitchell Boggs back out for the 10th inning. He had a scoreless 9th inning. Got 3 quick ground balls. Looks sharp. Mitchell Boggs has had more trouble, as I've seen over the year, Al, in his second inning than he has in his first.
A little bit more in the first part of the season as he's kind of settled down, and he's had some recently. He's had some very good second innings.
He has.
And Mather stays in the game. I'm just thrilled to death. You know, our final game on Fox Sports in the Midwest, and we give you bonus baseball. And this is incredible. This is awesome.
In fact, why not 20? We had a 20-inning game. I'm sorry, you had a 20-inning game.
We had a 20-inning game. I played in a 25-inning game. Let's go have some fun.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I guess we're only in the 10th. Pitching has been outstanding here this afternoon. And again, I think the defense has been
one of the better games.
Yeah, one of the better games I've seen the Cardinals play, for sure.
Do have an error, and it didn't hurt. But we made some very not lose a lot.
Good slider from Boggs. Takes care of Melvin Mora. That's first strikeout of the afternoon for Boggs. And back to the top of the order in Dexter Fowler. Now you look at the potential free agents Al, and have the list in front of me, 2011. There's not a lot of names on there that really jump out at you and say, wow, that's somebody that would fill that void. Moore is on that list. Mike Lowell, Brandon Inge, talking about third base only here. Garrett Atkins, Ty Wigington. This is trouble. Don't even try.
Well, with the speed and what you're talking about is Fowler, and to me, that you really got to bear down. And of course, Boggs made a pretty good pitch. He just chopped down on it, hit it over the head. You know, that high hopper that no infielder has a shot. But
I love the athleticism of Brendan Ryan, but doesn't he know that's a hit the minute that ball hits the ground? And if he tries to barehand that ball and he misses it and it goes into shallow left field, it's a double.
It's a double, or you throw it away. And Joe Mather did the right thing of just totally vacating first base. Make sure you stop that ball from going down the right field line and put him in either at second or third. So, you know, you just got to understand his great running speed, that, you know, you just put that in your pocket.
Threat to steal here. Stumbles to get back to the bag. First step was kind of a misstep for Fowler.
That's why he's going to go out there and manicure his running lane. You know, when a guy like Fowler comes up the plate, you really got to bear down and say, I got to keep this guy at base, because at great speed he can be a real difference maker. Now they're respecting that speed. They pitch out. Ignazi has not thrown out a base stealer this year. You know, he's 0 for 8. A much better thrower than that, and a lot of it has to do with pitchers, but he's only had a couple good throws. He threw 31% in the minor leagues.
And he might have another opportunity right here if he pitched to run. Not going.
Boggs doesn't have the quickest release either.
And you think about him rushing to the plate, a guy that has problems with command from time to time, all of a sudden finding himself 2-0 on Jonathan Herrera with some dangerous hitters after that. And so speed really, even the threat of speed can be a factor.
Yep. You know, you put pressure on the pitcher. He's trying to guard against that, and spending too much time worrying about the base runner, you fall behind, and they don't have to run the risk of stealing, as you can put a guy on, you know, walking him.
Definitely taking here 3-0, and Boggs misses on 4 straight pitches to Jonathan Herrera. And that sends Fowler down to second base. Now you've got to worry about him stealing third.
You better worry about Stewart trying to get that double play. Cardinals only had one left-handed reliever. They've already used Trevor. He did a great job to finish off an inning.
And their other reliever that pitches well against left-handers is Kyle McClellan.
He's already used. Ryan Franklin pitches well against lefties, but
Boggs needs a double play.
And right now, you know, to be honest with you, it's time to see if Boggs can get out of a jam he creates. He's going to be your closer, or even be considered in the future. This is one of those opportunities you take advantage of to see if he's capable.
Stewart did bounce into a double play to end the first inning, and that ball gets away. It's in the dirt off the plate, and you better be careful about an extra base for Dexter Fowler. He was thinking maybe 2 bases on a wild pitch. That pitch not even close. Looked like it might have hit the corner of the plate.
Well, he could have, you know, Boggs really not using the technique of stopping that ball and smothering it. He just tried to you know, backhand it, and that's when you really got to sacrifice your body when the game's on the line. Trying to overthrow right now, just losing command.
Stewart struck out in the 8th inning, probably the closest thing to a rally the Rockies have had all day, other than what they've got going here. They've got Fowler to third base in that inning, and Ian Stewart struck out on a weak swing with Kyle McClellan on the mound. He has a chance to redeem himself here in the 10th. He also bounced into a double play in the first inning. That now not a possibility, as Herrera's down at second base. Cardinals infield in again. The 2-0 pitch is outside for a ball, 3-0.
We talked about it the last time with Kyle McClellan, who has a much better breaking ball than Boggs, and that was the pitch of choice to get the strikeout. But those middle infielders under a lot of pressure with the speed of Fowler, the ball has to be hit right at him.
And he may have been pitching around Stewart a bit. Now he's got the bases loaded. Double play back in order with Troy Tulowitzki. Not the guy you want up with the bases loaded ever. 40 RBIs in the month of September.
And he hits the ball so hard that you can get the double play, but you can also get knocked down by a couple grand slams, 4.11 average.
A lot of bad options there. Cardinals halfway in the middle of the infield. The pitch to Tulowitzki is the ball, and now that is 9 straight pitches out of the strike zone for Mitchell Boggs.
Not warming up quickly, but not middle infielders not playing a double play depth, so they're going to try and throw home, seal off the run there.
A little surprised at that. I thought they'd be back.
Yeah, I thought they would. It's up the middle. May not make a difference. Sometimes the worst thing you can do when you're in a rut like this is try to aim the ball. So just go out with your good stuff and just keep on throwing. There he kind of backed off a little bit, but he got a strike. But the pitch becomes a lot more hittable. If you walk him, but just give him your best stuff.
You can sleep at night a lot easier, can't you?
Oh yeah. Tony Mange is always talking about that. I'll do certain things because that's what. If it doesn't work, at least I know I did it my way.
Big pitch, and did he go? They're going to ask the first base umpire, and I think the call is correct.
Yeah,
Ron Kulpa says he did not go.
I agree. And now a 3-1 pitch, hitter's joy. Bases loaded, game on the line.
Hitter's joy, pitcher's nightmare.
Oh yeah, because
squeeze it.
He doesn't have to swing. He doesn't have to swing, and he's going to get a pitch.
The 3-1 from Boggs is on the outside corner for a strike. Big pitch there by Mitchell Boggs. Now he's back in the count, and he needs just one pitch to maybe get out of this. Very tough hitter at the plate, and Troy Tulowitzki, 316, 95 RBIs on the season. The 3-2 pitch.
Got a piece of it. Pretty good pitch there, and Tulowitzki just got a piece of it to get another shot.
10th inning. Game on the line. Ground ball handled by Descalzo. The one. Double play. Facing a go-ahead run in the top of this inning, Troy Tulowitzki at the plate. And he gets a 3-2 pitch on the inside half. Tulowitzki, Descalzo, Schumacher, and then Mather.
Watch the reaction of Boggs when he comes off here. He sees it develop. Watch this.
Looks like a closer.
WWF.
Little closer action there, wasn't it?
Well, it looked like, he threw a breaking ball there, a gutsy pitch. Wasn't the sharpest, but he got the desired results. Plus, give him the double play to get out of the inning. That momentum just swung to the dugout. Now it's up to Betancourt to send it back to his dugout.
And we saw Betancourt here last night. Scoreless frame for him. And will be Descalzo and Nick Stavinola, who will pinch hit. And back to the top of the order in Brendan Ryan.
I got my scenario.
What is it? Give us your scenario, Al.
Stavinola. Remember what he did against Trevor Hoffman early in the season?
I do.
Game-winning home run. Then he had a tie game in Philadelphia, hit a home run, gave us a lead, ultimately a game winner. He's got 3 pinch hit career home runs, 2 this season. I'll let Scalzo get a hit.
Make it a 2-0 game.
Sure.
I like your scenario. Scalzo does not have a hit yet today. He's 0 for 3. His average has dropped to 241. And he's come back to earth a bit. Pops it up behind home. Iannetta. And he makes the play. And third baseman Stewart runs into him to make the play just a little bit more difficult. As if it's not hard enough to make that play for a catcher.
All right, let's see how good I am.
All right.
Stavinola's got 15 pinch hits, just a shade under 300 as a pinch hitter this season. As I said, 2 pinch hit home runs, 3 in his career. There's a 294 as a pinch hitter, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, and I know the guys in the truck would be disappointed if it went in right here, but I just got a feeling, guys, so sorry to disappoint you.
Well, they're thinking about that 20-inning game and how much they enjoyed that one. But I think they would take a Stavinola home run here. I know he would. First pitch to Nick. Fastball right down at the knees for a strike.
Just setting him up. That pitch wasn't the one you want to pull, so it was a good pitch away. Nice measured the velocity.
He's a good fastball hitter.
Yep.
In the home run now that he had off of Hoffman. Here it is.
Change up, goes down on a knee and lifts it up, and that was part of Trevor's downfall. He ultimately got to 600, but it saves, but it took a long time.
That was a great moment.
And in Philadelphia, he hit another one in a tie game that eventually was the game winner.
0-2. And it's so true, Al, even in a season where you don't go to the playoffs, there's still some magical moments that you look back and remember. The Cardinals had some down years in the 90s, but you still think about big moments, big hits. Fernando Tatis, you think about Mark Whiten's big day.
4 home runs. Tatis's 2 grand slams in 1 inning. 1998, the home runs race with McGuire, and not very good.
Different scenario. You got another scenario over there?
Yeah, it's Brendan Ryan, who had a tough year, but he just painted the black right there. Worked the outside part, had good command, overpower him, and Stavinola comes in. But Brendan Ryan, he's my favorite Cardinal at the moment.
Why is that?
Well, because he's going to get the game-winning home run.
Scenario B.
Give me a little more faith. Or a little more faith in Brendan.
And Ryan pops it up. Whoa. Tulowitzki has trouble with it. Makes the play. Sun in his eyes. And we are halfway to 20. Hang with us. This is fun. Feed your wild side. And we do indeed have extra innings here at Busch Stadium. Tony La Russa's club not able to get very many hits here this afternoon, just 3. Ubaldo Jimenez was the starter. He went 8 strong innings, struck out 10. Kyle Loesch, a good outing for the Cardinals. It's been Loesch, McClellan, Miller, Boggs, and now Jason Mott.
Jason Mott. It's been a little stint on the disabled list, but he's come back throwing just as hard as he did before. Tilly in action there. He's trying to work on some secondary pitches, trying to fingertip pressure, 4-seam, 2-seam.
Facing Todd Helton. I'm still trying to figure out how Mitchell Boggs got out of that last inning. He was down 3-1 in the count to Tulowitzki with the bases loaded and 1 out. Somehow it worked.
You just keep on battling, you know, use your good stuff. He just threw one of those 3-2-inch breaking balls that kind of guided it in there, but it was just high enough to be effective. It's a little bit above hanging, so it was effective. And
kind of one of those torpedoes.
Sure. And then he kind of chopped down on it. Scalzo, give him some credit, jumps up, fires a strike to second, and they complete the double play.
Swing and a miss by Helton, and Schumacher was quick on the turn as well.
Sure.
Tulowitzki runs well enough.
Well, you know, he really has that strong arm, Schumacher, so even if he's not quick, he can make up for it with the arm strength.
2-2 is lined into left field. Matt Holliday puts away Todd Helton. He is now 1 for 4 on the afternoon. Well, Matt Holliday will get another at bat. We talked about him slipping behind Albert in the team batting race by percentage points. He's set to hit in the bottom of the 11th inning. It'll be John Jay, his 300 average on the line, then Rasmussen Holliday. I guess this means John Jay will play tomorrow if he doesn't get a hit. Tony put him in for defensive purposes, and now that the Cardinals are playing in extra innings, his 300 batting average is going to be on the line. Ryan Spilborgh's the batter. He pinch hit for Seth Smith in the 9th inning and bounced out.
Look at a game like this that could be determined by a home run. That advantage should be to the Rockies. don't have a lot of power in their lineup.
And one of them's done. Albert Pujols pinch hit and walked in the 9th inning. Joe Mather pinch ran for him, and he's now the first baseman. Cardinals still have Anderson, Hill, Green, and Feliz on their bench. 3-1 to Spilborg. Check swing fouled off. And another souvenir. You mentioned, Al, that the Rockies have the power advantage here, but I always felt that it was much better to play an extra inning game
at home. Yeah. You know, you've got to retire them 1 inning, and you're back on offense. They've got to retire you. You know, the 1 inning you get up, and then they got to retire again another inning to beat you.
Spilborg is retired. Fastball by Jason Mott. Blows it by him.
Fastball just overpowers him. It's tough to win extra inning games on the road.
There's that breaking ball. You talked about him working on pitches.
It's not always most recommended to work on it, you know, in a tie game.
Right. Hey, if Ryan Franklin can work on a knuckleball in the middle of a save situation, then Jason Mott can throw a slider in the 11th inning next to last day of the season, can he?
The knuckleball is an effective changeup.
And Ryan Franklin, of course, has a little more experience than Jason Mott does.
Jay Payton's hit a few home runs in his day, especially since coming out of Georgia Tech. But, you know, with 2 outs, it's not like what's the chance you're going to give up a home run. So just showing them you got to break a ball. Just make sure you pull down on it, don't hang it.
Padres and the Giants are squaring off this afternoon. The Padres have to win today and tomorrow to tie them. They also have a chance of winning the wild card with Atlanta.
What did Atlanta do? They played yet?
Atlanta is in the bottom of the 1st inning, and so is San Francisco. They're just getting underway. Both those ball games, and we'll give you those updates as this 20-inning game rolls along. Jay Payton, a 2-out walk. Maybe those games will be done by the time this one's done, Al.
Could be.
Well, that just gives us more time to thank all the great people that put on this Cardinal telecast. We've already talked about Tom Mee and Mike Helling and guys in the truck, Keith O'Brien, Brian McCann, and the rest of the crew there that does a great job. But we appreciate the cameramen that are giving us the great angles and the great views. I know they work hard. They're here a long time. And we just appreciate the job they do day in and day out all season long.
I appreciate working with you, Ricky, and had a great time working with Dan this year. And you know, bringing Cardinal baseball, it's something we don't take lightly. It's a privilege and an honor to come in your homes and talk about the kids today that have the great talent that we once had.
Well, and we're reminded of that when we see what we saw here today with Stan Musial.
Absolutely.
What we're a part of. And all of us are a part of it. All of us have a piece of it, which I think is what made that moment so meaningful, Al.
Sure.
Fans here, the players, the current players, you know, you're connected by this thing called Cardinal baseball, and whether you're a fan, the manager, current player, former player, broadcaster, cameraman, producer, director, we're all part of this team.
Well, it's like the Legends camp. You know, everybody has played baseball at some level. They have, you know, more knowledge about baseball than other major sports. And, so it's great. These Cardinal fans come down there and play. The ability to play isn't the most important thing. The ability to enjoy Cardinal baseball, the camaraderie, the storytelling, all the aspects of that's what's so special about the Legends Camp. And I think that's the same way with Cardinal fans.
You were kind enough to invite me to that a number of years ago, and I've been back ever since. And now that is my most fun thing. I guess I'd have to say the most fun thing that I do all year long is when we go down to that camp down in Florida in late January, and it benefits Hire Hero USA. And for folks that are interested in signing up, you can contact the Cardinals or Hire Heroes USA. But I laughed for 4 straight days. So much fun to be around those players. Bruce Sutter is coming back again this year. The campers loved him, and Ozzie Smith and Vince Coleman.
First ever. Vince Coleman. So, Tewksbury and everybody. I mean, all your favorites and stuff.
All the great players.
The thing that makes that so unique is that the players, the ex-players and legends, have so much fun being around each other that the campers feed off on that. They say, well, they're having fun. We might as well have fun too.
Absolutely.
But it's just trying to remember our youth.
Speaking of fun, Steve Klein is coming back again. And that's a whole new level of fun.
I'm speechless.
He's not. 2-2 the count to Chris Iannetta. We're in the 11th. There goes the runner. Pagnozzi the throw, and he is safe, and he's going to go on to third.
Should never happen. Should never happen that he ends up at third. You have to recognize, okay, it's a bad throw, but you've got to knock that ball down. Think of the circumstance. There are 2 outs, 3-2 pitch, but you can never let that guy get to third base. Pags didn't have a handle on it and didn't get a good throw, and Schumacher knows that all he has to do is catch that ball. You got to knock it down. Use your body. Don't let that guy get up and go to third base. So many more ways to score from third than second. Stolen base, E2.
Swing and a miss. Moot point. Big strikeout. Vermont. Now that was a great moment for Matt Holliday. Will it repeat itself here this afternoon? Pedro Feliz will pinch hit for John Jay, and Franklin Morales is our new pitcher, the left-hander, in his 35th game of the season. High ERA, good opportunity now for the Cardinals to pick up a run here and end this game in the 11th.
Well, let's hope so. Right-handed batters hitting .284 against him. Lefties .171, and John Jay stays alive at .300 as he's pinch hit for. Morales was recalled from AAA on August 28th prior to the game versus LA. He allowed 4 runs over 5 2/3 innings in 9 games since his recall.
Cardinals don't want to have to go back out, but I would assume you could put Feliz at third, move Descalzo to second, and put Schumacher in the outfield.
Yeah.
1-0 to Pedro Feliz. Cardinals trying to win it in 11. Feliz, Rasmus, and Holiday.
Morales falling behind in his first man, and that's
kind of his deal.
And not good. In extra innings, and now it's 3-0.
Almost a situation where you take 2 strikes out, make him throw 3 in a row. Need a base runner.
I have no problem with that, especially right now.
Especially missing by a lot too, I think, is part of that.
Yeah, you get a fastball here, but there you go. There's your start.
All right, Pedro Feliz works a walk from Franklin Morales, and that brings in Colby Rasmus. Colby has had difficulty the couple of times where he's been called on to sacrifice. You've got a pitcher that hasn't thrown a strike yet.
Tough to bunt off a guy, that, especially when you have never really been called upon much in your minor league days.
Fastball's hard enough, 95 miles an hour, but yet to throw a strike, Franklin Morales. Boy, a lonely feeling on that mound when you cannot seem to nail that plate down.
There are times when you know a hitter's even taken, and you still can't throw a strike.
I'd like to see him take a strike.
He wasn't taken there. He was ready to hit, but thank goodness he laid off the pitch. That wasn't even close.
You have to take this pitch, in my mind. I know he's a big league hitter.
I mean, I totally agree. He's gearing up.
Didn't look like he was taking.
No.
But that's just situational baseball right there.
Take this one.
When a pitcher, if anybody had been a pitcher before, they would know to take a strike, because he is lost right now completely, Al, and you don't want to let him off the hook. There's a strike.
Based on what we've seen, don't be afraid to take another.
Well, he's not going to throw a breaking ball.
No, and it looks like he's going to throw a ball before he's going to throw another strike.
There it is. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks for the Cardinals to start the 11th. Some kind of rally going on here, Al.
Well, Bob Apodaca is going to go out there and talk to his pitcher. And I learned the hard way. In a situation like this, my first year, Ron Fairley was at the plate. And Ron tells this story, and we became teammates and good friends. But he told me his story later. He said, you were having trouble throwing strikes. Now your catcher's out there saying, hey, don't be too fine. And Ron Fairley said, I thought that was pretty good advice. If Simmons is telling Raboski, don't be too fine, I'm going to tell myself, don't be too fine. I'm going to look for a pitch right here. And I gave it to him.
So was he listening in on that meeting, huh?
Oh yeah,
he knew it was happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it does teach you a lesson. You know, you learn more from your losses than you do from your victories.
Well, he's behaved himself into a tough spot here. Matt Holliday, strike at the knees. Holliday a chance to win it for the Cardinals.
Wouldn't it be fitting, too, against your former ball club? And he really has done some damage. Look at it against lefties this year. High average. Ooh, good rip.
Ooh, good swing there. All of a sudden he can throw strikes to Matt Holliday.
Matt Holliday has done a lot of damage this year against his former clubs, the Rockies and Oakland. And he'd like to add to it 6 career walk-off hits. Well, the Truck would be disappointed, but they may root for Matt's 7th right here.
2 runners aboard. Bottom of the 11th. And a base hit to right field. Colby does not get a good jump, but the right fielder bobbles it. There's going to be a play at the plate. He is safe, and the Cardinals win.
Look out for your life.
Cardinals having fun. Matt Holliday drives in. Pedro Feliz.
Right, Feliz was going back to the bag. The right fielder Spilborn bobbled the ball. Well, watch this. A line drive out there. You think it's going to be enough. Actually, great piece of hitting and falls down. He bobbles the ball, and that's why he was sent. But watch Feliz out there at second. He's going back to the bag. Then you said, uh-oh. But then when the drop ball, Kindler sends him home, and it's a bang-bang play. He does slide. There's no question he's safe. And gets around before a tag.
Perfect slide.
Happy.
Great ending. Cardinals have taken the first 3 from the Rockies. Postgame. Next.